and you literally been a breadwinner. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And in many situations, and in every situation you've been in. So, what's your opinion on why it's like that? What's your opinion on why 70% of women?
I think a lot of it has to do with the statistics on marriage. Also, black women marry less. Also, I think it has a lot to do with not having men in the home. Yeah. Women are forced to do what they have to do regardless.
So you're saying that the reason why women are the breadwinners because men are not in there?
That's what Ty just said, but go ahead.
Pretty much.
That makes sense with the statistics.
I mean, because who else is going to be the head of the household? It's like at the end of the day, the woman.
So is the post misconstrued?
I don't believe it is.
Because it's making it sound like it's a man and a woman.
Yeah,
and like you said,
but a lot of situations are not. A lot of situations are not, black and white when it comes to a man and a woman being in the home. What I mean by that is, and no offense to anybody, but it might be a woman that's on housing and the man is not on her lease. Right. They don't have his income. So where are they pulling these statistics
from?
Census
Bureau, when it comes to
exactly, where are they pulling these statistics from? Because it doesn't mean there's not a man in there providing. You just may not know about it.
I can agree with that. What's your opinion on the TV?
Well, I'm gonna say Ty said, unfortunately, there's no working men in those homes. You know me, I'm gonna go deep with it.
Make sure y'all like and share, by the way. Please, it's so quiet here without LV. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. It is so, and I want to say something. Shout out to my man LV. He's still my brother. I love him to death. We still love you over here, bro. You're welcome on the show anytime you want. Bro. It's much love. We just had creative differences, and everybody know. And if you watch the video, you seen it, Joe and I last week. But that's still my man's. That's still my brother. I love him to death. Shout out to LV. But it's just quiet in here. I'm not used to it. I'm not used to that. It's gonna take some getting used to. We might have to put some music in the background or some shit. But make sure y'all like and share. But go ahead, TV. I'm sorry.
No, but anyway, it's just like when you watch this election and the black folks is asking Biden them like, okay, what are you gonna do for black folks? And they talking about the damn Latinos. Well, the Latinos is coming in and we're gonna help them. And this is the same thing for the last 100 years. You ask the government what they're gonna do for black folk, they ain't got no answer for it. So the situation is set up for us to lose. How do you break us down? The family structure. So when you got many of our women that's on housing, and housing won't allow the man to be in the house, then you got a bunch of families where this statistic really sounds correct. You see what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, there is a thing again with them trying to, what else I want to say, demasculate the man. And so it's like, when you do look up, women do get better jobs than men do.
I live at home with one.
For the most part, men aren't in these homes. So the statistics is kind of misconstrued just a little bit.
I don't know about most men. I'm going to speak from my own personal experience with my family. I liked it. I took pride in, I tried to make more money than her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never was comfortable with my wife making more money than me. That was never the idea. The idea was to make more money than her, period. Like, I used to go to work and hustle just to compete with her salary. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it just depends on what type of man you is. There's some men that's comfortable with that shit. And matter of fact, there's some dudes that take pride in baby making more money than him. But in my opinion, when you in a real home and when you with a real family, it has nothing to do with who's the breadwinner. And that's the problem with society. It should never matter who's the breadwinner if everybody's winning. And I feel like when they start comparing men and women, that's like apples and oranges. Especially black men and women, right. It's like apples and oranges. They literally have a structure set up to make sure black men fail more than women. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. I don't know, bro. It's a touchy subject, but I don't mind a woman making more money than me.
So Ty said, let's be real. You just said a lot of, I can't see right here.
She said,
Let's
be real. You just seen a lot of men have felonies and whatnot, so maybe they hustle or have a piece of a job, but the woman gets the bread. And this is what I'm saying. So let's just think about this, because I was just thinking about that. Do y'all think that men get out there and hustle because they want to? Like, they just
you're right.
9 years old and say, shit, I want to go out there and sell drugs and put my life on the line and end up going to jail.
You're right. 100%.
You don't get a felony for nothing. Like, when you're 7 and 8, 9 years old, and I know this, when you're looking to be successful as a black man, all you see is sports. Like, you don't see a whole bunch of black men.
Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
You don't see a whole bunch of black men walking out of these banks, walking out these corporate jobs to where you feel comfortable enough to where my chances are that good that I'm going to be successful doing that. So obviously these young men are seeing who is being successful, who is making the money. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
And I want to look into your future, and you got to see a role model. And it's not like we just don't want to do that. So it might seem like that when you get in the situation, like, this nigga don't want to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? He might be stuck in that mode after he's been doing that for 10 or 15 years. But when he was younger and he was looking, if he would have seen all these successful black men, he would have followed down that path. So a lot of our young brothers do it because once they look up and they see who got the money, it's the people that's actually, I don't want to say breaking the law, but that's cutting some corners.
I want to say that I've been wanting to tell the story since we started the show. Perfect opportunity to tell the story because we're talking about when the man's trying to be a more of a provider and the man is trying to be what is it called, the breadwinner. So I was working this job one time, and like I said, I couldn't wait to tell the story on this show. And the perfect opportunity, I was working this job one time, and I would go to work at 5 in the morning, and I would work 16-hour days. I would work 5 to like fucking, I want to say 10 at night. It was crazy. So I was working and I was like, this is the best job I ever had. I made more money than my wife. This is a true story, bro. And I'll never forget it. I was working. It was through a temp service, but you know how they say, oh, we're going to hire you. Yeah. And I was going to work every day. I was on time. And it was this big white man that had like a Cowboys hat on, and he would always just stare at me, right? So I took it upon myself, you know me, I'm a friendly guy. I took it upon myself to be like, how you doing today, sir? And I'd be like working hard. He looking at me, I know he know I'm doing good. One day he pulls me in the office, and I'm saying when I was the breadwinner, when I felt like I was really making money, one day he pulls me in the office and say, hey, Anthony, we running out of work today, so we're going to send you home for the rest of the day. I'll see you tomorrow. I go home. I'll never forget it. And I felt like he was trying to break me mentally as a man. I go home. I come back to work the next day. You know, we have startup meetings when you're working in the warehouse. Right. We zipping up our fleece and getting ready to go in the warehouse. And he looked at me in front of all of these people, man. I don't know to this day, I cried so bad in the car to my wife. So basically, I was sitting there zipping my shit up, getting ready to work, and all of these people at the startup meeting, he looked at me and said, hey, Anthony, why are you here? I'm like, what do you mean why I'm here? He said, I fired you yesterday. I said, what you mean you fired me yesterday? You told me to go home and come back tomorrow. He said, no, I fired you. And everybody was like, Nigga, I went to the car, listen. I went to the car, and I'm talking about, my spirit was just broke. You hear me? I called my wife. Nigga, I cried my wife. I sounded like a fucking newborn child talking to my wife. I'm like, I got the best job I ever had. I got all of this money. We about to make all of this money, and I was fired. And I said, and that, shout out to the smartest down people. I was in a similar situation with Signature. I'm telling you, I don't have the urge to work for people anymore. But they also was breaking my spirit because I felt like I was doing my best to keep this job. And somehow, some way, I was on. But it also is tied to me being a black man.
I'm glad you told that, because look, they in the chat talking about the man got the same choices as. No, we don't.
But I can say, not to interrupt you, but black women, we go through the same thing. When we work for these companies, we go through the same thing. They talk to us crazy. I mean, I can't say where I'm working at right now, but in the corporate world, they try to demean you. They, try to belittle you, and they do talk to you crazy when you have these Zoom meetings, because right now everybody's working remotely. So we experience the same thing.
No, that ain't the same thing. What that man just went through was not the same thing, and it's
because we get labeled as an angry black woman at work.
Yeah, and you cuss me out right now when I say that.
Man, y'all look. Let me tell y'all something.
Don't break it down, TV.
And this is true. This ain't no racism.
Okay.
The way that white men target black men because of the jealousy factor over the years and what they put us through and fire us over, and because it's more of a masculine thing. I understand what y'all go through, don't get me wrong, because we all as black folks go through shit.
Yeah.
But the shit that we go through in certain positions, and maybe everybody don't go through it, but I've been through the authoritarian thing at work, which made me quit. I ain't gonna lie. This one, I forgot what his name. What was his name? Oh man, he used to come through and he used to give black people hell, and he used to give me hell,
White man?
like, because I'm more of a bigger guy.
White man?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was out the military. He would target me all the time. Come, I'm working my ass off, like demean my work, make it look like all my work was flawed.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like constantly getting.
Have you ever
called in.
experienced that as a woman? That's what I'm saying. Like as black men, and this is why you hear, as black men, we can be on our shit doing our job, and we will still be targeted. And like you said, you're right. They do try to label black women as angry black women when they stand up for themselves. I get that, but I'm saying, like, imagine. All you have to do is...
That actually happened recently at the job that I work at now.
Okay.
Something happened to where it was a system issue, and a Word document was not attaching to this system that we, send off to another department.
Uh-huh.
And multiple people had experienced this same issue, and they kept emailing me and CCing like all these managers and stuff on the email, like, you need to go back and do this again. I'm like, I've done it 3 times. So they had to remote into my screen to actually look and see, like, okay, she did do her job. It's a system issue. But when it's coming from a black woman, it's like, we don't believe you. We just think you're lazy and you're not doing your job.
So it's a race thing in general when it comes to the work.
I think that it is, because when I kind of gave them a little pushback, and I'm like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. This is what's going on. It's a system issue. They label you as the angry black woman. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I ain't never been labeled as the angry black man because I've always... Man, I don't want to say it like this, dog, but if you make me happy with what I'm making hourly, and I'm being able to take care of my kids, and this is one thing my dad taught me. Shout out to Pops. But this is what my dad taught me. As long as you get to go home and your family is fed, you shouldn't give a fuck what they think about you. You do your job. So I always treated managers like that. I'm yes sir, no ma'am. I'm straightforward, but I'm also polite at the same time. I can get yelled at by my manager, and I'm like, all right, I'll take care of it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just because like I said, if I'm making enough financially and I'm able to provide for my home, I don't give a fuck about. I don't have pride. Like, we already had these conversations. I don't have pride. I used to have pride, but my pride ain't strong enough to turn down a check when my kids got to eat. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm saying, like, with black men, we get targeted to the point where they're trying to find a reason to fuck with us. They're trying. Listen, the job we was at, I was one of the first motherfuckers they fired. I was the one calling the manager every day. Hey, boss, this ain't working. Oh, Anthony, you're fine. You're fine. One day I get a call. Hey, Anthony, we're gonna have to let you go. Bitch, what? What you mean? I'm so glad we went in that building, because that would have been the first time I snapped, because it was one of my favorite jobs, the best job I ever had. I sat on my ass and played on fucking YouTube and did my work. So, but I'm at the point where, bro, I don't even know how to get back to going to work. You know, like, I don't know if I have the energy to deal with one more motherfucker firing me for the dumbest shit. So when they say create your own business, be your own boss, I'm finally, like, just sitting here for the fucking year during the pandemic when we all been unemployed. I'm realizing I need to find something that I want to do. I need to find something. I don't give a fuck if I gotta go outside and sell T-shirts at where the motherfuckers be standing when they panhandling. I don't give a fuck if I gotta go out there and sell T-shirts. I don't think I want to go back to work. Not for nobody else.
I agree. When I left my job of 6 years, it kind of made me, think about things too. And then being in the middle of this pandemic, I'm like, okay, you got to pull some type of hustle out of you. So I started, doing makeup, just finding, a hobby or something just to make extra money. I started investing in stocks, so I agree. I don't really want to be working for somebody for the rest of my life.
Thank you, Yolanda. She said share.
Right.
Yolanda is a hard black working woman. Yolanda, have you ever been in a relationship? This is a question to Yolanda. Have you ever been in a relationship and you weren't the breadwinner? Because we know you've been working your whole life. I know you since high school. Have you ever been in a relationship and you weren't the breadwinner, Matter of fact, women, answer that question, yes or no question for all the women, so we can just get a poll right now. Have you ever not been the breadwinner in your home? What about you, Maxwell? Have you? And I ain't talking about hustling, because anybody could do that. I'm talking about going to work a 9 to 5, just like you, getting up every morning, just like you, and he made more money than you.
I can say it was only one man that I dated that was the breadwinner that made more money than me.
And what happened to him? You should have kept him. What happened?
We can get into it. That comes with a relationship too. Sometimes when the man makes more money and he feels like you can't tell me nothing, I got my own place, I make my own money, I can have as many women as I want.
Oh, so you think the more money a man makes, the more susceptible he is to cheating?
Yes, because I think that what was I about to say?
That comes outside of where we see it, so.
Yes, but I don't know. I guess like a man is more humble the less that he has, because the more that a man has, that's when his faith is really tested. Like,
now, why is that?
Why? But why does money have to do with anything with
because of it's the dynamic. That's why I keep trying to explain the dynamic. I can't get my words all the way right because it's a lot to say, but first of all, we know there's a lot of men in jail, so there's way more women than men.
right.
So since there's way more women than men, then there's going to be way more women looking for a man. And when they looking for a man, they don't want, I don't want to call niggas no bum or nothing. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just because you ain't got what everybody else got. But that's how women look at it. I don't want no nigga that can't provide for me.
Yes.
So they're going to flock to the niggas or the men with the money.
They got something.
Okay. Hold on. Let's.
No, man,
Brandy said broke ones dabble too, and they definitely do.
I mean, don't get me wrong. We're not on that. That's what I'm saying. We're just saying that women will flock to men that have money.
So
whether they're working, successful, or whether they're in the streets.
But what about the women that literally? I know women that will literally take care of a motherfucker. And when I mean take care of him, I mean he ain't got to work. He sit on the couch.
We're not talking about that though.
Why not?
Because we're talking about the
breadwinners. Yeah, the breadwinners.
So the thing is that a man that's successful.
But I'm saying some women are let men sit on their ass. You know what I'm saying? Like some women is okay with it.
I get that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that what we're saying is a man that got that money and is the breadwinner, we're saying that he might be susceptible to cheating, right?
Yes.
He might be susceptible to have 4 or 5 women. What's the dynamic of that? Because women are attracted to men like that, and they will, I've seen it, will just bypass the fact that man got a woman already. And because he has the opportunity, don't say it's right.
Yeah.
Because he has the opportunity, a lot of men take it. Period.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth. Now, don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's a lot of brothers out here that ain't really got too much, but they still running around dibbling, dabbling because, again, the odds. You know what I'm saying? There's more women out here, so women, just from my point of view, women are willing to deal with that because it's really not enough men out here. It ain't like 50,000 men, 50,000 women, and everybody has an even opportunity.
Yeah,
it's more like 50,000 women, 25,000 men.
So you're saying that since women are, there's plenty more efficiency when it comes to women, that men are more susceptible to cheat.
We locked up.
Word, but you know what I mean.
We locked up and dead, man. We acting like that ain't even, and that's what I say when it comes to the job. Like, when you go to the job, and you got to deal with that bullshit at the job with this man coming down on you all the time and actually antagonizing you and actually always trying to knock your ego down. Then you got to ride home, get profiled. Then you damn near got to get shot when you get pulled over, and you might go to jail for some bullshit. Then you might get locked up for some bullshit.
And
you know what I'm saying? All of that is overpopulated. All of that is a culmination.
Black women,
right?
And it's overpopulated with black women. So we gotta look at the statistics too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I'm saying like when you sit and say it like that, it might be 3 black, and then you gotta keep this in mind. Companies tend to be forced with the what's the shit where they gotta hire enough black people? What is that shit called?
Affirmative action.
Yeah, affirmative action.
Brandy, what you talking about? Go ahead.
Brandy.
Talking about cutting her pay.
So-
Where that come from?
So back to what I was about to say is with affirmative action, you have 15 black employees, 3 black men, 12 black women. They gonna hire the black woman as a manager before they will the black man, and it's sad to say that shit. Like me stomach saying that, but I'm dealing with reality every day.
I see you, High C.
I
Yeah,
think
Said men cheat because she ain't complete.
I don't
That's what
believe
you
that. I don't 100% believe that. There are some men that will stay in
Brandy crazy.
She said, "No way, I'm cutting my pay."
Where did that come from?
she just put it out there, okay?
Go
I
ahead,
ain't dumbing
what you saying,
myself
I
down
see
for
though.
nobody.
Is y'all ready for the next topic?
Yeah, we can go if y'all ready to go.
Y'all ready for the next topic? All right, let me see. You heard me too.
Thank you, Brandy. They do.
Because they want to. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody make a honest
We
choice.
all have
One of
free
our-
will.
Free
One of
will.
the
There it is.
smartest dumb people consultants is what I call them, that I chop it up with and have conversations with, said that they notice when they watch the show on YouTube, we only say certain people's comments, right? So I want to say this right now. If you were in here to see the comments, you'd understand that Brandy and Yolanda and what's her name, Ty?
Yeah.
They the only ones that's commenting. So look, the people that's
Consistently.
here, consistently.
Right.
So it's not that they making it sound like we only read off their comment. No, we'll read off anybody's comment if the comment is worth reading.
Right.
We want to interact with
Okay,
everybody.
Right.
should we go back to Samantha's comment then?
All right, no. Let's go to Janice, which they said I always say Janice. It ain't because of my sister. She said white women actually benefit the most from affirmative action, not black women or men. Sis, you got to break that down. I don't even know what the hell that means.
Okay,
To the
well,
left.
Samantha says, I think traditional roles tell us that men should make more than women. I felt great when I wasn't having all the responsibilities of paying all the bills. I took the opportunity,
Awesome.
went and got a degree rather than just sitting around having him pay for everything. That in turn put me in a position to bring something equal or greater to the table, which I felt like was what was the right thing to do, but boy, he thought different.
But I'm glad she in here. I'm glad Samantha in here. Samantha made a post, and we should have been talking about that day one when she made the post. Samantha made a post and said, "I'm not about to be with no man that ain't got no education, no GED." And she made it sound like in order to be a man, successful man, you have to have an education. And I completely disagree with that. So that set the tone for what she said. I'm just saying what she said. She immediately spoke on her degree. It don't matter. There's motherfuckers with real master degrees working at McDonald's.
Man.
So
most million and billionaires in the world ain't even went to school.
thank you.
That's just true.
Thank you. So
That's
it's not
facts. Go look it
relationship
up.
wise. You can't use a degree as an angle to compare yourself to another human being. Period.
Man,
Like
I think that you
That's
have to
her-
have
that's
the
her
ability to lead and to be able to earn, to bring something to the table and to be able to lead. I mean, those two things for me.
It's a lot of ways
education
to
or
make
trade.
money.
Education or trade? I don't know, man. You speaking to
I
us?
say trade.
Is she asking a question? She said, because I see she said
No, she
education or
said
trade.
either or. I'm just
Is that
saying
what
I
Yolanda's
say
saying?
trade. Yeah.
Okay.
Either education or trade.
Jay-Z don't have a diploma, and that man is filthy
You,
rich.
you hear what I'm saying? Like, y'all gotta look at the stats. But what's being pressed is education. Go to school. Look, most people that go to school end up with school loans that they paying back for the rest of their life, and don't end up with the job that they think they're gonna get. But they're driving us to do that, and again, that's for a reason. You have to be creative out here. Whatever is your talent, go into it. Go into it.
Tap
Reckless
into it.
abandon. You know
shout
what
out
I mean?
shout out to LV, like he say, tap in.
But
tap
a lot of
into
us
it.
don't feel like we got talent.
All right, it's time to jump topics. We switching
Go ahead.
topics, y'all. Next topic of the day, y'all. Everybody that seen it on Facebook, it was a man that was murdered. His wife posted how she was gonna miss him and how he's gonna be truly missed. And in the comments, this gay guy had pictures of her husband saying, "That's my man." So he wound up being a down low brother, basically, and he had a boyfriend on the side, and his wife didn't know until he was murdered, and the motherfucker jumped in her comments and had something to say. I'll go first. My biggest fear is dying with certain skeletons in my closet. For example, like when I die, I want my kids to have all of my access to everything. All of my phones,
right.
But I got sex tapes and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm worried about giving my son my cell phone, my password, and all this shit. But I'm just saying, like skeletons come out when you dead. I don't know if I want my son to see my sex tape. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the crazy part about it is that I feel so bad for her because, like she said, everybody knew but her. Mm-hmm. So she bearing and she thinking, that's my baby, whoop de whoop, and come to find out, everybody knows this man got a boyfriend.
I don't think that it made her look dumb at all.
Down low.
I think that
is it really that many men out here that do that shit though? I just don't see, bro.
I believe that it is.
Dudes be fucking dudes. That's crazy.
Man, it's going down.
I believe that it is. I mean,
I don't fucking know.
It was a scandal.
We got back. Let's see what Buddy said. Let's see. Samantha, she said, I'll tell you about, not to change the topic because we're not changing the topic, because Samantha just said something. She know people that got MDs behind their name and are not about anything. So I know a woman that's, I don't want to talk about that shit because I was about to say, what? I got a homegirl that went to school to be a pharmacist, and I'm talking about she was in school for like 8 years to be a pharmacist. She's $200,000 in debt, and she works as a cashier at Walmart.
Right.
So that's all I was saying. Is education don't make nobody. Education don't make nobody, and that's that. Erase that shit.
Man, all I'm saying is this here. If that's your lifestyle, fine, that's your lifestyle. Don't be married and be doing some whole other shit like that. That's gonna come out like
it's definitely embarrassing. But
so when those skeletons come out of the closet when you die, is it gonna taint and tarnish the relationship? Like for example, if I'm with a woman and we've been together for fucking 15 years and she dies, and then I go through her phone and see her like fucking some dude or doing some crazy shit on my time, does that tarnish her?
Nigga,
she dead, man. She dead.
I don't give a shit.
She dead. She fucking dead.
Motherfucking piss on that motherfucking grave.
It does.
I'm going to pull all the flowers up. I'm about to vandalize it. Shit.
Yeah, it's definitely embarrassing. You just have to know your partner. You got to know who you with, but I don't know. I think that everybody has their little secrets, their little skeletons in their closet.
And that's my fear. You
just don't have no way of knowing. But I think that it's unfair for men to be on the down low, if you ask me, because then it puts the woman at risk.
Sexually?
Yes, of course.
Man, what's the risk?
I mean, cheating regardless. Yeah, cheating regardless. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
It's one thing.
Don't let me grab another topic.
I got a person to actually will and deal with somebody that's like
she said
you,
digger
I think you like right, Brandy. I hear you, digger motherfucking ass up.
Should we jump after this? You want to jump to this? We ain't got to read over.
To get on the
whatever
breastfeeding thing.
The breastfeeding thing.
Yeah. We can talk about that.
What's breastfeeding? What about breastfeeding?
Why don't more women breastfeed?
No.
I don't want to get on that. Yeah, let's get on that then. That's what I want. It's all these women up in here.
Because this will actually tie into the first topic that we talked about.
Kind of would. We should have just segued to
because I feel like this right here is another reason that they're not on equal playing field when it comes to.
All right, we can do both then.
Okay.
I want to just do both topics real quick. All right, so we're gonna switch topics because man, I don't really like talking about men and other men, but it was something that somebody asked us to discuss. I think we touched based on it enough. Like everybody got skeletons in their closet.
I see, because they on drugs. A whole lot of.
All right, so. TV, break down what you said about breastfeeding.
Why don't more women breastfeed? I done heard a whole lot of answers today on Facebook, and I want to know. I want to hear straight out from y'all. What is going on?
Can you smoke weed and breastfeed? Can you drink alcohol and breastfeed?
I don't think you can. I think you can have like a glass of wine or something, but I don't.
Well, that's the problem right there.
What's the problem?
Alcohol,
Yeah.
drugs. They said it. Like everybody has some type of vice.
Nicotine.
You know what I mean? Like even when I get off the show, I'm gonna have me a couple shots. But I'm saying, imagine I had a baby to feed every 5 fucking minutes.
But you've been pregnant for 9 months. You better not have been drinking no damn alcohol.
Yeah. So,
But I do see that sometimes. I see them smoking cigarettes.
Most women can't wait to drop that baby. Like I ain't gonna say drop that transmission.
Child is coming home with you, dude. Cut it out. So ain't no way in between, and you can have a little sip. Like it is what it is. You need to breast. I believe you should breastfeed because I know it's more healthy, and I know that it.
Yolanda said time.
Immune system a lot better. But go ahead.
Yolanda said time, which is true. It is very time consuming. A lot of women have to, if they're at work, wherever they have to stop and pump when their breasts get full.
What's up, Ricky Smith?
And
Shout
then you
out to
also
Rick.
have to refrigerate the milk, if you're working and your child is at daycare or whatever. So it can be time
Heather
consuming.
said, yes, you can drink while breastfeeding. And she's a mother of 4, so she knows. I didn't.
Ron Jones in the house. What
I
up,
know
Big
that was.
Bear?
What up, Rick?
I know that was a big issue before that women kind of had to fight for, is to even have like separate refrigerators to put breast milk in, or to have like a private room to go in to
How long
pump
you gotta
their breast
breastfeed,
milk
though?
while at work.
In order to, because they say that breastfeeding make the baby smarter or some shit like that, or more.
It's more healthy.
Yeah,
All right, so how long do you
it
gotta
is.
breastfeed?
It honestly, it depends. Some people will do it until their child is 1 year old, and some people breastfeed past a year.
So I seen a motherfucker breastfeeding a 5-year-old. Breastfeeding a 5-year-old.
Nigga walked in the room.
That's disgusting. That is fucking disgusting. Now that's disgusting, man. Your kid is old, and that motherfucker just climbing on you. No. And me as the father, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, man, get your little ass up out of here, man.
Unica says that it is inexpensive. That's true. It is
Very
definitely
inexpensive. You
cheaper
produce your own
too.
fucking milk?
Yeah, because when you
What
think
up,
how much
Trey?
a can of milk costs, and then some people, even if they do get like, WIC and they get a certain amount of cans of milk, they still run out. So,
Yeah. All right. So what was the other topic? Oh, let's talk about it.
What?
child
Hell yeah, we need to talk about this.
What's that?
support.
Child support. All right, we gotta talk about this topic. This is a hot topic. This is the topic that everybody can relate to. This is the topic. This don't have a color. This don't have a race. This is all about man and woman. Child support. So they say, would you rather a man pay child support or be there emotionally for his kids? I'm twisting the words for myself. Would you rather a man pay child support, don't see his kids,
I hear you, Trey.
or be there? Yeah, I feel Trey. I knew Trey was gonna do that. But would you rather a man pay for his kids or be there literally 24/7 emotionally? I'll give you an example. I don't live with my kids at the moment, but I am emotionally there for them. I'm always available, and that's just that's the way I told myself, because when my mom and dad got a divorce, or when my mom and dad split up, or whatever the case may be, I really felt like I was alone. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
and my dad paid child support, consistently paid child support, but emotionally he was not there for me. Shout out to Pops. I'm not sorry, Dad. I'm just saying, like, you had your own shit going on, and I would have rather time with him, which I didn't see the money. Let's just be a, did
You don't see the money, yeah, the kid don't
did the
see the
ring
damn
thing and
money.
shit like that,
He
yeah.
might see
But as
5%
far
of
as
the
in
money.
time with the kids, to me, is more important, and I feel like it's lacking in really in the black community, because we already talked about it. When it comes to a black man, if he ain't got the money to provide, you tell him he need to leave. You need to do. No, I'm telling you, the most important thing in a child's life is being able to just be there, hug them,
Yeah.
talk
I
to them,
agree.
Yes.
tell them you love
Grow
them,
them.
be
Yes.
there,
Yes.
I
be there
agree.
emotionally.
But you're
So,
saying, I agree, and just
What's up,
to
buddy?
piggyback off of what you just said, in the black community, you feel like the woman tells the man, if you don't have no money, you gotta leave, you gotta go. I feel like that ties in with what we just talked about with the woman being the provider, because with men, I feel like there are some things some odds against them when it comes to child support. Would you want to go and work, 80 hours a week, and then you look and you ain't even getting but a small fraction of your paycheck, after that? So that's why some men choose to get paid under the table, or they go
my
to
dad,
hustling.
true story. My dad, I work with my dad, and this is the honest to God truth. They said, Anthony, we got your check. Me and my father got the same name. I laugh and tell him this story all the time. They said, Anthony, we got your check. I was dancing, opened that motherfucking envelope. Open the envelope. I said, $150? $650 to that.
I quit.
Listen, my dad, I swear to God, we laugh at this story. This was 20 years ago. But we laugh at this story. I swear to God, my daddy check was $100-something, but he also had 5 kids to take care of.
Yeah, right,
When I started working with him, he still paying child support for me too. So when I was working with my dad, like I said, my dad always been a man when it came financially. My dad, I can't never take away from my father. He was there for us financially. He still is. But as far as emotionally, he still to this day don't know how to, he don't know how to nurture me as a man. Like, I'm a man and still want a man to nurture me, but only my father. You know what I mean? And he still don't know how to do it, which is fine. These old school cats, they don't know about it. But when you start talking about, like we always do on the show, mental health and making sure the kids are straight mentally, you have to do that from the ground up. Fuck money, fuck being financial. You can always get money. You can't never get back time and love with your kids. And shout out to Buddy. Buddy actually said, money can't never compare to time spent with your kids, and I agree 100% with that. Yeah. So, what's
can't beat it.
Anybody got something to say about the child support?
All I'm saying is this here: you have to be there for a child to let them know exactly where they come from, especially as a man. Right. Like, a man wants to be able to grow. A boy wants to be able to grow into a man. He wants to be able to look into a man's eyes and say, "This is what I am." You don't learn that by a check just coming in. Yeah. Dad calling you once a month. You see what I'm saying? Like, I used to go back and forth with my baby mamas, and they knew I wasn't playing that bullshit. But it wasn't like I wasn't going to pay the child support, but I used to make it known. I ain't got it right now. You want me to, because I got one baby mama, she got 2 other baby daddies. The other 2 baby daddies didn't do nothing but just send checks, wouldn't even come around, because that's what the fuck they thought it was. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm about to be here for my daughter through thick and thin. I'm gonna try to. We don't even stay together, but I'm gonna try to come see her 3 and 4 times a week, take her to school, do what I gotta do, and I'll be here financially. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like I should have to be on child support for that. Like, don't just tell me, nigga, if you don't like what I'm doing, pay child support and whoop-de-whoop, and then you don't give a fuck if I ride off into the sunset as long as that check is coming.
And that's the sad part. Bullshit. Well, I don't know where that line got misconstrued. Like, in life, like, I'm telling you, as a man. There's not, like, even me watching my kids with their mom and laughing and joking and talking. I couldn't imagine her just giving me a paycheck and never talking about I couldn't imagine her not interacting with my children. Right. So, and I'm saying that from a guy standpoint. So I want to know, how do women, most women, not all women, but some women, let's say some women, let's narrow it down. But I don't understand how some women are okay with a man just being a fucking check. Like, I would be like, no, you want to keep that $150? You want to come over and spend some time?
Yeah, like, come get these damn kids.
Do something with them. Yeah, right. And Samantha said, there's no men out here that are physically, mentally, and financially there for their children. Shit.
It's coming in.
Before you stop. Stop. Boy. Listen here, I've been there financially, emotionally, physically for my kids since they came out the fucking womb. Right. I cut the umbilical cord. I'm the one that got the first car seat, put him in the car seat, strapped him in, was scared the whole way home. I got anxiety from taking my child home.
We on your ass a lot. The men in the chat on you. Hey, you gotta cut that out. We ain't going for that shit right there.
My brother called me a bitch ass nigga. Motherfucker say whatever. Ain't no motherfucker in this world can tell me I ain't been an amazing father to my children. And I'm talking about from top to bottom, financially, emotionally, physically. You know why? Because like you said, they need that to grow.
My daughter, 22 years old, just called me.
I couldn't even get through some math.
I know the comments are coming in fast.
I read that wrong. I'm sorry. I stopped her.
You done got her jumped on.
No, she said I thought it said there's no men out here.
Oh man, you got.
And she said there's men out there.
All right. Everybody back. Samantha. Okay, everybody back up.
Hey, it's hard to talk.
Boy, we're about to go in.
It's hard to talk, share, like, subscribe, move, do all his computer functions, and read comments. I apologize. I misread that. Samantha, you actually are right.
Okay.
There are men that have been there for their kids financially, emotionally. I apologize. I snap sometimes. Shit, man.
And because we ready to, because we're mad at it.
I got a little LV in me.
Child support that terrorized
I
us
got a
over
little
here.
LV in me too. You know, I
Okay.
snap sometimes. Shit.
So Brandy says, my thing has always been when I decided to make the choice to bring a child into the world, I told myself I have to financially, mentally, and emotionally be there for my child with or without the man. You never know what life has for you. The man could be killed, just not want their responsibilities or whatever. I would never beg a man for $1 to take care of something they know is here. And I got the best kids, dads ever.
Who said that?
One passed and she gets SSI, and life never stopped for her financially, and I ain't arguing with no one. It takes two.
Heather says she wrote off $37,000 in child support. That's stand up on. Listen, and another thing, everybody have to understand, child support was literally set up, and now they have all of these rules and restrictions and taking your license. It was tailored to black men. Let's speak facts.
I can agree with that.
So we got to keep in mind. So we got to keep in mind when a black man goes in debt, something like $37,000. You should write it off because you're never going to see that shit.
You're never going to see that.
But I got a brother that's probably $100,000. I got a little brother that's probably $100,000 in child support. You ain't never going to see that shit, man. You know, put out a life insurance policy on that nigga, man.
So make him write a contract out and sign it and say, I'm write this $37,000 up, and nigga, you owe me this from here on.
Everything. You owe me some bread, but $37,000, you wasn't getting that, baby.
Ricky Smith said, read his comment. He said, all the odds are against us. I ain't never been in no trouble but on child support papers. It literally says state of Nebraska, my son's name versus a defendant and my name. I am charged as a defendant against my own damn son. BS.
Right. That's straight bullshit.
That's heavy, Rick. Sorry to hear that, Rick, but y'all know
we all know Rick.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I know you handled that like a real man.
Came from a great home. Great mom, great dad.
Heather said he lost his license, but read the rest of the comment. She said she wrote off $37,000 in child support, told him to come get his kids, spend time with him, and it didn't happen still. That's trifling.
That's low. I want that $37,000.
No, I'm gonna tell you, that's scumbag shit. That's what that is.
It is, but I can see like if you got your child's father is saying, hey, I need to get my CDL license to get this job, and I can't because they suspended my license because of child support. Can you write off X amount of dollars so I can go get my license reinstated or whatever?
But the trick, they know black men already gonna drive regardless they got their license or not. Let me tell you something. I drove for 10 years with no L's. You know what I'm saying? So when they take the license away from the black man, that's just the way to put him in jail because they know a nigga gonna drive.
No, he got
they know a nigga gonna drive.
Well, he really
so
gonna
after three times being pulled over, now I'm sitting in jail for 90 days.
Yes.
I lost my job. Man, listen, man. Listen, dog.
Oh, okay. Unica says, you know who you slept with. Real Buddy J says women are using child support as a weapon too.
I was gonna say that. Look, go ahead.
I've seen women on Facebook get mad and actually post and threaten men put them on child support all because they're angry. Elijah McKinney, black women want us to be. I don't believe that black women want all men.
You gotta excuse my guy right now. He going through
Okay.
That's coming from personal experience right now. That's my guy right there. We'll talk about this. I understand you, Trey. I get it.
That's my G, man. But we got 12 more minutes.
We should to end that topic off.
No,
we should actually take this opportunity. All of y'all that is on child support, the women, and you should look your child in the eye and tell him, her, do not get in this situation I'm in playing with sex. I done said this on previous shows. You fuck around playing with sex with somebody that you know is not financially stable or not. Oh, I'm sorry.
When you bang on the table, the mic distorts your voice.
Okay. Yeah, and so. You playing with sex with somebody that you know is not financially stable, is not responsible. You see what I'm saying? But you might not be paying attention because you're having fun at the time. Next thing you know, you playing with sex, you pregnant. I don't believe in abortions, so you don't get the abortion. Now you sitting with this baby. Now you hoping that you can put pressure on this person to actually stand up when they've showed you really who they are. So that's just a lesson that we can teach our children. Everybody that has children right now, we can't go back. But there's a lesson that you can teach your children. Like, look, I know your daddy not here right now. So what I'm going to tell you is this here. When you finally get you a woman or you finally get you a man, don't do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, don't play.
But I agree with what Brandy said also earlier. When she said basically the man could be killed, anything could happen. At the end of the day, you still take responsibility for that child regardless. So I agree with that, and I think I had mentioned that not the last show that I was on, but
she said I can't blame anybody. She said I agree with you. I can't blame anybody but myself. Suck it up and do it. Well, I don't want women. Listen, just because you laid down with a man and he turned out to be a fucking piece of shit, let's be honest, don't mean you should feel bad about yourself and say I shouldn't have slept. No, because motherfuckers don't show their true colors until those things come into play.
You don't know people sometimes.
So as long as you're able to fuck this beautiful woman that every day, this badass chick every day, you okay with that, as long as you get the fucker. But the minute a ball and chain comes attached to her, which is a child, and most niggas run away from that. They don't even look at you the same. They don't look at you as the bad bitch you was before the child. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like when you have a baby by a man, that's when their true colors come out. And some people fold under that pressure. I know I have friends personally that I've had to cut off because of the way they handle their child situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like even
that's part of our problem too.
Yeah.
Men
we
hanging
still
in
fuck
groups with niggas that we know scumbags. But let me read this. Janice says, same can be said for men being destroyed by child support. You know who you got pregnant.
That's true.
Look, I understand that statement all day, but this is just the truth of nature. The woman has to carry the child.
So she has to be more responsible.
She has to.
I agree.
She has to.
I agree.
The ball is in your court. I promise.
And
you.
that statement right there explains why it's 70% of women in black homes that are the breadwinners.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
I'll take that. Take that.
Scumbags. Eli said.
He
like going nuts today, man. He like going nuts today, man. I called you the other day, man, and you text me who this is. I called you.
You niggas have vindictive people out there, and that is true. There are some people that are vindictive, and it goes for men and women. Just like Janice said, you don't know until you have a child with a person and they flip on you. If you don't want to be with them no more, it's like, okay, you're going on child support. And yeah.
No, I know this, and we ain't gonna act like everybody know each other. Like most of these kids is coming from some one night stands, 2-week relationships.
I don't understand how we had this conversation when LB was here with you. I don't understand how a woman letting any man in 2021 lay down with them unprotected if they ain't been fucking like these new. I'm talking about. Now women are having unprotected sex.
It's going down right
now.
Dog,
listen, man.
It's scary. It's really
I don't even
scary.
like sex anymore. I'm serious, scary. It's so scary. I don't even like sex anymore, dog. I'd rather just fucking watch porn.
But then you see why some people would rather put up with who they already with and deal with that person's bullshit because it's like, I mean,
it ain't nothing out here.
Scary.
It ain't nothing out here but kids and disease.
It's treacherous.
Yes.
So. I don't know, man. I just try to understand it. I'm trying to understand all these kids being made and nobody taking care of them. That shit just.
It's sick.
That shit baffles me. This astronomical number.
It's a lot of. You see all this, and people don't. You see all this gang banging going on, and I don't even know if you call it gang banging anymore. These niggas is just crazy. It's just every man for himself, drugged out, want to kill somebody. These kids don't have no love. Like if you look at the product of what we talking about right now. These kids don't have no love, man. And then some of these young adults, like, I came from a crazy area, but this era,
the younger generation is different.
At one point in time, I thought it was better. But before social media, I was like, man, that shit is at an all-time high.
And it might have get better. They might have flooded the streets with the mollies.
I feel like you said it better. You said, now it's every man for themselves.
Man, this shit is crazy. These kids don't have no love. They don't respect nothing.
No love.
No teaching, no education. It's nothing.
Yeah. Well, you can look at it like
they don't respect their elders.
At all.
What happened with the guy getting beaten, the store owner recently?
I ain't heard about it. You heard about that, TV?
Somebody comment on that. I think the guy, what is his name, BJ or something?
Is this
At the
Omaha?
neighborhood store, yeah. This happened
Now, what you say
recently.
now?
This happened recently at the neighborhood
99 cent store?
I think so.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that. I had
Okay.
that on my topics.
We
Yeah,
got
the dude that went in there and beat the hell out the.
Yes, the younger generation
It ain't
is.
funny.
How old was
Thank you, Elijah.
I don't know how the clerk was, and the dude had a mask
Yeah.
on. They said they think he a regular, but they got the video. He just walked right in, picked up a bat, and went to work on it.
Yeah, this younger generation is tripping.
Was it BJ's Trey?
99
99
cent
cent store.
store.
That's what I thought they said.
Because my nose running like a motherfucker.
It was a little chilly, but yeah, it's
You
a.
can say.
Hey,
Don't get him started.
we need a help tip, Tori. Hey, it's Freestyle Friday. We survived.
Elijah
long.
said drug hitch, and then Mac Mizzle said because they crack baby.
hey, that too. Meth babies and everything else right now.
Yeah, it's a lot going on with this younger generation, and then you got to think some of the drugs like meth is heavy right now. And we
man,
didn't.
that's
That
terrible.
wasn't going on when I was coming
I can't
up.
believe I can't believe black people doing meth. That shit
Man,
bugging me out, man. What the fuck
I was
is
just
going
gonna say, I
on?
remember when that was just an old white man
Yeah,
drug. when I was in school.
yeah.
Yeah,
Man,
I couldn't believe
I
it.
looked up my homeboys.
I
was
think
doing
meth
that.
is like worse than crack. Meth is like worse than crack
Hey, dude,
cocaine.
I'd rather smoke crack.
Dude, I looked up my homeboys.
Don't even
was
say
doing
that.
I'd rather smoke crack.
Man, I don't want
Crack don't make you hallucinate.
Nah, the people
know.
that be on meth be like looking like zombies.
Hey, mother's telling closet truths on here, trying to act like.
Hey man,
Trying to act like
anything to
they
lose weight faster, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey man.
He said the crack don't.
My
make
buddy
you
said it was
hallucinate.
Redmond's store.
Yeah,
the 99
the
cent store.
99 cent store.
And the young, how old was the dude that beat up the?
I
old
thought
man?
it was a young guy that did it.
How old was
They
the
couldn't tell. He had a mask and a hood
Oh
on.
wow.
Oh, okay. Why did he do it though? Robbed him or?
We don't know. He just walked in, picked up a bat, man, and broke some bones.
No
literally.
shit. Man,
Hit him like
motherfuckers
15
ill.
times,
Motherfuckers
right there on
ill,
the camera.
man. Niggas is ill. Well,
Oh man.
Freestyle Friday was jumping. We appreciate y'all. We about to get up out of here. Make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all go to our YouTube page and follow us at Smart as Dumb People 23. We have plenty of videos for you to keep
Hey,
in
check
touch
out
with.
the merchandise too if y'all want to get in. Just
And
let us
listen,
know.
look at our new
Make it
shirts.
happen.
Look at our new shirts.
Y'all better have a damn shirt the next time I
Smart
come
as
on
Dumb
here.
People.
Yes, sir.
We are the CEOs. We own this. We are black owned. We trying to get some real money, some real revenue, and we working on it. And we just need y'all to stay with us. And thank you for all of our top fans. Thank you for Brandy.
Man,
thank you for
the
Yolanda.
support.
Thank you for
Like
Heather.
and share.
Thank you for Eli. Thank you for Rick. All of y'all comments. We appreciate y'all. This is the
I have a
Smartest
health
Dumb-
tip next week for
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
on
We'll have a
Tuesday.
health tip Tuesday. This is the Smartest Dumb People. I'm Anthony That Dude Johnson. My co-host, Mr. Shabazz himself.
Salute to the people.
Also, Miss Maxwell, the First Lady. We'll see y'all Tuesday.
All
Y'all have a
right.
good night.
See y'all later.